Jeez, that's, not a lot. What about you guys? Wally, that's a cookie.
Oh.
I have a couple coins.
Melee, that's a zillion coin. We can't use those here on Earth.
Oh.
Oh gosh, we're completely broke. Seems like all those spaceship parts you've been buying have been getting really expensive.
Yeah, sorry. It's because sometimes my materials disappear and I need to buy new ones. I don't know where they go. It's such a mystery.
Yeah, a real mystery indeed.
So what does this mean? Will we not be able to afford food and electricity now?
No, don't worry, Millie. I'll just need to get a job. For the past 5 years, we've been living off the money that CG's dad left him, but now that it's all used up, I'll need to start working to support us. But in the meantime, make sure to only buy stuff that we actually need, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good. For now on, we're gonna make sure we only buy the essentials.
Guys! Look! They're making a Nintendo Switch 2!
Wait, what?
They are?
Yippee!
And it's got Mario Kart on it!
Wait a minute, how much is this thing exactly?
Who cares? It's got Mario Kart!
Yeah!
Dude, the Switch 2 looks so good. I love how much bigger and sleeker it looks. I already thought the first Switch was pretty high-tech, but compared to this, that thing feels like a fucking Game Boy. And dude, the games, they look awesome! Mario Kart World looks insane with this whole open world you can drive around in. Donkey Kong Bonanza looks like so much fun and a real reinvention of the Donkey Kong franchise. And the mere fact that this thing can run Elden Ring and Cyberpunk makes me so excited for the future of this console.
Joe, can we please pre-order it?
Please!
Fine. How much is it? 450?
450? What are you talking about? That's a steal!
It's in dollars, CG.
The Switch 2 is going to retail for $450, and that's with no game included. If you want the console with Mario Kart included, that's a whopping $500, with the game on its own being $80. $80 for Mario Kart? Do you know how many Filet-O-Fishes you could buy for that? 15. 15 Filet-O-Fishes is the answer. Man, that's kind of fucked up.
Give me back that filet-o-fish!
These prices have sparked a lot of controversy in the gaming community, with most of the criticism being directed at the $70 to $80 games, which... yeah, I'm not gonna defend Nintendo for this. $80 for Mario Kart is insane. Granted, I'm still gonna buy the game, but this is insane!
$101 for a Krabby Patty? With cheese, Mr. Squidward, with cheese!
Now, this got me thinking. What is an appropriate price for a video game? $60? $50? $30? Free? Well, let's see what people think. Harry Dollar, how much do you think a video game should cost?
Probably like $60.
Preferably, I'd have them be 50, but 60 is fine.
Video games should be $0. They are a human right. Yet the government is putting up paywalls to take advantage of us gamers who need them to stay alive. But $60 is alright, I guess.
$60. Why is $60 specifically the price that people are fine with paying? Where if you go anywhere beyond that, the game is immediately considered too expensive by most people. Well, I think it's mostly a case of that just being the price that people have been used to paying for most of their lives. However, this wasn't always the case.
Copy that.
For example, on the NES, the price of games could really vary from game to game depending on the quality and size of the game, going from as low as $20 to as high as $60. And this was even the case for first-party Nintendo games. Super Mario Bros. Was $25, while something more premium like Zelda was $50. Now, those prices don't sound too bad, but if you adjust for inflation... man, that is rough. For more information about this, please search up Super Mario inflation. It really depended on what the game you were buying was. Like, a simple sports game like NES Soccer wasn't gonna cost as much as a beefy RPG like Final Fantasy. It was really an era of experimentation when it came to game pricing, where companies were still figuring out what worked and what didn't. But don't get me wrong, that did not mean that all games were priced fairly. There were some absolutely horribly buggy games that went for the same prices as the quality first-party Nintendo games, and sometimes for even more. Ghostbusters for NES is an incomprehensible game that barely resembles the movie it's based on, yet it costed the same amount of money as Mega Man 2, which is one of the greatest action platformers of all time. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was the same price as Mario 3, Back to the Future was the same price as The Legend of Zelda, and the worst offender of all was Action 52, which was a horribly buggy, unfinished collection of games that barely worked, and it retailed for $200. $200!
Oh, hell no! Hell no!
Actually, wait, adjusted for inflation, that's $420 in today's money. Get the fuck off the screen, Snoop Dogg! Imagine buying this for the same price you can get a Nintendo Switch Plus a game for today. Like, what the fuck am I even looking at?
It's a piece of fucking shit!
But then, during the SNES and Sega Genesis generation, we started to see games be priced more consistently, with most games being priced at around $50 to $60, or around $120 in today's money. Now, this may seem expensive, but it did lead to a lot more quality control on the games you bought compared to on the NES. When you bought a Genesis or SNES game for $60, you could almost always be assured that you were gonna get a quality game. Well, most of the time at least. And this is pretty much how much games would cost for the next few generations. $50 to $60 was pretty much universally recognized as being the standard price of a video game. But the question still remains, is this a good price? Well, for some games, it absolutely makes sense. Final Fantasy VII is an extremely impressive game with a huge epic story and a massive world that will take you months to complete. Skyrim is one of the most content-filled RPGs ever made with a massive open world and thousands of fan-made mods that I can't show on YouTube.
If my waifu or girlfriend wore this armor, it would be Christmas every single day.
And FIFA 8 is a soccer game. Now, I'm not trying to diss on FIFA here. I know it's a quality series that's got plenty of loyal fans all around the world, but at the end of the day, it is just soccer. And is that really worth $60? Should this really be worth the same amount as Skyrim, Fallout New Vegas, Ocarina of Time? I don't think so. Now, this isn't really a question on the quality of the game, but more the content. Like, I really don't think there's enough content here to justify $60, let alone $70, which they started going for recently. Huh? Yeah, recently games have started going for $70 as opposed to $60, and I'd excuse this if it was saved for only the big, high-budget releases. But even these fucking EA Sports games are going for $70 now. And this goes for all yearly release games. Madden, NHL, Just Dance, these are all games that are being sold for $70 at launch on PlayStation 5. $70 for games that are going to be outdated within a year, where the gameplay doesn't go further than this.
Here's a short pass to Matthews. Centering P.
And how exactly do I know that these games aren't worth the price? Because consumers don't think so either. Go into any place that resells video games, and what are the cheapest games you'll find? FIFA, Madden, NHL, and Just Dance. These can go for as low as under $10, because unless your name is Scott Wozniak, no one cares about these games when the novelty of them being new has worn out. The only thing they're good for now is being a coaster. But at the end of the day, it is of course the consumer's decision on what they want to do with their money. So if you're a diehard FIFA fan and you buy all the games when they come out for $70, then you're insane, but I do respect you. Also, how's your financial situation?
And there's no money in here!
And now, that's the standard for modern video games, with PlayStation, Microsoft, and now even Nintendo pricing their games at $70. So, is $70 really worth paying for a video game? Well, it really depends on the game and the consumer. For massive multi-million-dollar action games like God of War Ragnarok or Spider-Man 2, I'd say it's pretty worth it. Yeah, $70 can be a hard price to accept, but for games with deep stories and massive worlds that you can get lost in for hours and give you memories for life, is that not worth paying $70? Especially when you consider how many people worked on these games for hours of their lives just to make it a reality. But at the same time, fuck no, I'm not paying $70 for Gollum. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? A lot of these massive $70 games turn out to be unfinished and disappointing, and that just makes that steep price even harder to justify. Like, imagine you've waited years for a game to come out. You buy it on launch day for $70, and it turns out to not be what was advertised. that can really sting, and not just leave you feeling disappointed, but feeling like you got scammed out of your money. Like, come on, I'm not playing video games to get scammed. If I wanted to get scammed, I would just go into Manhattan. So while I do think $70 is a good price for some games, that does not mean that every single AAA game should be that price, especially not if the game is in an unfinished state at launch. I'm especially looking at you, EA.
We've got to have money.
There should be some sort of quality control over at Sony or Microsoft that makes sure that the games they're releasing are 100% worth $70. And if they're not, maybe it would be best to just bump them down to a $60 or $50 game. Sure, they'd lose a bit of money from that, but they'd still lose money from people refunding their games, so the least they can do is at least be a little consumer friendly, right? Right? So I guess the real conversation here isn't should games be $70, but rather if games are $70, then they better earn it. Because if I'm paying $70, I better get the best of the best and not, fucking that. Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring. These are high-quality games over 100 hours long with so much detail and so much passion and love poured into them that I think they deserve having that higher price tag. But why the fuck is Mario Kart $80? That's the hot debate in the gaming community right now. Will Mario Kart World really be worth $80? Well, let's see what people think. Sixten Goo, do you think $80 for Mario Kart is too much?
Yeah, it probably is, man. I don't think $80 is worth paying for any game. Well, maybe Baldur's Gate 3. You can fuck a bear in that game. Don't ask me how I know that.
Yeah, that price is definitely too much. There's no way I'm paying $80 for Mario Kart.
$80? No! No, you can't make me!
I'm not forcing you to buy it.
I won't do it! I refuse!
Well, let's see. What makes Mario Kart World so special to deserve being $80? I mean, clearly not every Switch 2 game will be $80, since Donkey Kong Bonanza is only going to be $70. So what exactly is different with Mario Kart? Well, it's a launch title, it has Mario in it, it's open world, you can be a cow. The cow! I'm sorry, but I really can't see why this game deserves to be that expensive. The most reasonable explanation I can think of is because it's open world, but so is Elden Ring, and that's only $70, and I really doubt this game will be as in-depth as Elden Ring. It seems pretty clear to me what Nintendo are doing with Mario Kart World. The reason it is that price is because it's a first-party launch game. They know how many people have been waiting for this game for over 10 years, and since it's gonna be the only big first-party Nintendo game at launch, and since it's fucking Mario Kart, it feels like they're kind of taking advantage of the consumers here. Like, what exactly in this game looks like it needs to be more expensive than Donkey Kong Bonanza? That game looks amazing! The gameplay looks super fun with how you can pretty much destroy any part of the game with your bare hands, and the visuals are just gorgeous to look at. If anything, I kind of see more replay value in Donkey Kong Bonanza than I do in Mario Kart World. Don't get me wrong, Mario Kart World still looks amazing, and I can't wait to see all the little secrets you can discover in the open world, but it is still a racing game, while Donkey Kong Bonanza is a 3D collectathon. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait until both games come out to see if the price is justified, but as it is right now, I can't really see how this game's worth $80. I guess what worries me the most are the possible consequences this could lead to. If Mario Kart World does really well and sells record numbers despite the price, which, let's be honest here, it probably will, then other game companies might look at that and also start doing the same. And keep in mind, the Switch 2 is still less powerful than the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, so imagine how much games will cost when the next generation comes out. What, a game's gonna be $90 now? Maybe even $100? I mean, apparently GTA 6 is gonna be $100, so why not every game? And on top of that, they can still sell you DLC, they can still put in microtransactions, they can still sell whatever pre-order special edition collector's bullshit they want, and we'll all still buy it, because that's all we know how to fucking do.
Man, why does everything have to be so expensive?
Yeah, I'm sorry, CG, but there's just no way we can afford this console right now. So either you wait, or you find some other way to afford it.
Okay guys, doesn't seem like we have much of a choice.
Yeah, but there's no other way to get the console. We have to do it.
Okay, it's decided then.
What's decided? What are you guys talking about?
We're selling you on eBay, Joe.
Wait, what?
Bye.